Hey guys, and welcome to Cosplay Curious. I'm CuriousJoi. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make one of the awesome characters from Avengers Age of Ultron. I'm going to be making Scarlet Witch. She had such a simple costume where it's so much easier to get started on because you don't have to worry about making things from scratch. You can just buy it at the store. So let's just get down to the nitty-gritty. You're going to need a red leather jacket, a flowy dress, knee-high stockings, denim fabric, leather fabric, and paint in order to get your jacket to have that whole ombre effect that she has. So yes, let's get started on this fun cosplay adventure. So basically we're going to hand sew this denim fabric onto the collar of this dress. We take this fabric, we measure it along to make sure it's long enough. I say around like the third button. And then you just take your scissors. Yes, these are chicken scissors. Kitchen scissors. You just cut it out. Make sure you want to use everything. This is like the end of the fabric. You don't want that because just in case it's seen. So we just trim that off a little bit too. Since this fabric frays a little bit because it's like a denim, we're basically going to get a sharper edge with these pizza cutters. I'm calling it a pizza cutter. You just take this and just gradually trim that off. Now that we got our denim fabric, we're just going to place it here on the inside of the collar. You pin this to the collar. You just basically stick it in and then have it come out the other side so it's shown this way. You just do this all the way down so that way it's in the right place that you want it to be. So now we have it all pinned to the collar. It's time to sew it together. So basically you need your black thread and you need a sewing needle, which I have on here too. And then make your first little incision. Poke it through the dress side, make sure it's not gonna get caught on anything, and then slide that through. And then there's your first little loop. And then you just do this all the way down. Scarlet Witch's outfit has kind of like a little definition in her collar where it's not just black in the inside, it actually has texture in it. And then it's all attached and good to go. So now that you have both of your denims together, button up your dress to where you want it to go. Once you're done with one side, you do the same thing on the other, and then like magic, you have denim on the inside of your collars. Now let's move on to Scarlet Witch's armbands. What you're gonna need is leather fabric and a zipper. So first we're going to take your leather fabric and measure it to make sure that it fits your wrist and just to make sure that both sides connect, because you're going to be putting a zipper in there, but if they connect, that means you have some wiggle room in order to have it work. So you're gonna take your leather fabric and then grab your zipper. Once you have that in place, you just have the fabric meet with the zipper and have it as close to the zipper as possible so you don't see any of the zipper fabric. So once you have all that in place, pin it together, and you want to start off with the zipper portion first. Now that you have the fabric pinned to the zipper, we want to make sure that the enclosing parts work out. The zipper isn't functional, so it doesn't have to all be seen. So what we're going to do is we're going to overlap the fabric over each other, so then that way you don't see the end of the zipper, and then you just pin that together. And then you do the same thing with the bottom to make sure that they meet. You pinned it with all the sharp parts facing upwards so it's not in the inside, so you should be able to slip your arm through. Now that you have it pinned together and you know that it fits, it's time to start sewing. We're going to start off with the top part of the armband, so that way we know that this is in place. So you stick the needle through, and then there you have your start. And so exactly how we did the dress is how we're going to do the top part and the bottom part of the zipper. And there you go, there is the finished armband. Basically you just sew the closures on both sides and then sew straight down the zipper, and there you have it. Let's try it on to make sure that it works. It is okay for it to be wrinkled because hers were kind of like that wrinkled texture, and I think we did a pretty good job here, guys. Now on to the stockings. She doesn't just have normal knee-high stockings, she has like some little distressing going on with that. And for this, basically put as many holes as you want, but at least as there's little stress, you're all right. So you stretch out the knee high. You can just stretch it all on your arm just to make sure that you know exactly what you're cutting. You take some scissors and be very careful. You just want to poke holes in it. You don't want to like cut anything. And then once you get a hole in there, you just stretch it out. Now we actually want runs in our stockings. So depending on your style and how you actually want it, you can either make the holes bigger, like see I had 2 holes there, then just cut it open. and then just stretch it out so that way you have different size holes. So you do this all around because you don't want any clean spots. You don't have to worry about getting the foot part of your knee highs because you're going to be wearing boots. You just have to worry about the calf area. And you do the same thing with this other guy. It's time to paint. We are going to take this lovely red jacket right here and we're going to add the ombre effect at the bottom of it. We're just going to lay the jacket flat here on the table, take our antique paint, pour a little bit on the plate. So once you have your paint all laid out, we take a sponge, just wipe a little bit off before you put it on the jacket. Because it's an ombre style on the jacket, we want to start from the end point and then work our way down. So I want it to end a little bit over this zipper right here. So what I do is just take the sponge and just drag it down. You don't want it to be a straight line because ombre effect is not a straight line. So you want to make sure you line it up and then go through because we don't want any uneven ombres going on. So with the sleeves, you want to put them on. You may get paint on yourself, so if you're expecting to stay clean, then don't paint. Same concept, always paint down. Mainly focus on where the stitching connects, so then that way you don't have any harsh edges. So you just work your way up there, and so then that way once you roll up the sleeves you can see the entire ombre effect. And this paint dries pretty fast, so you don't have to wait too long for the next coat. Alright, and once you put your second coat, your jacket is complete. Take a look at the finished jacket right here, all the ombre goodness that it is. Once we have the jacket, the dress, the stockings, the armbands, I feel like something's missing. I know what it is. It is rings. You just need enough to pile them on. Get knuckle rings, different kinds of rings, different colors. They can be gold, they can be silver. Doesn't matter. As long as you have rings in at least 3 of your fingers, you are good to go. Now you need your necklaces. You can either find necklaces that look similar to hers, or you can just make some yourself. I made some of these necklaces out of buttons and I added some black string on it, and that's how this one came about. For the short necklace, I found this pendant and I colored it red in the inside because she has a red stone on her chest. Made sure I painted this one red and added a lighter color string and had it short enough to go for the second necklace. See, now this looks more like Scarlet Witch. If you want to see a completed makeup and hair tutorial, be sure to click here. And you also get to see me in the completed look. Don't forget to subscribe to ICONnetwork. You can do so by the link below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!